Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know what? I love doing these lives. So guess what? It helps us. It definitely helps us. You know, I want to talk about, some of the family connections and disappointments and trying to understand us. You know what I mean? When we get, we in our bad, how we go in and out of our bad, the power of sickness. I talk about it all the time so people can really know that this sickness is crazy. It does. It helps a lot of people, and that's the name of the game, to try to help a lot of people. I'm trying to get this on this phone as well so I can read some of you guys' comments. But I don't even know how to do that. But I do appreciate everybody being on. I hope people can pop back on again from the madness that I even had. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even know how to get it on this phone, to be honest with you. I'm going to try, to do my best, because I do want to read some of what you guys are saying, and a topic of where we're going, with this. So if I'm all over the place, just bear with us, sister. You know what I mean? I'm going to get this thing. I've been doing so much and had so much to do, but guess what I won't do? I won't miss this live. That's for sure. Y'all, I was going to read something out of the book and then go on topic from there. And when I do read out the book or whatever topic that was, is really important. It's really important for a part of this puzzle to learn, and to hear, so that you can actually understand. I don't even know how to go on this live on my own damn phone. This is crazy. I'm gonna read a little bit from the book, just a little topic so that we can get on topic. And I want y'all to send me topics as well. Question me about some things, because if I know, I'm sure enough going to throw it out there. You know what I mean? You may have questions that you want to answer. I know it's good to just listen to a person at times, because that's what I get a lot. You know what I mean? And I get all caught up in my shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But it may be questions that you might want to ask. If they simple, they simple. If they don't sound right, they don't sound right. That's what this live is for. So we could talk about it, because there's nothing crazy, dumb, stupid, weird, or whatever when you're talking about this disease, of addiction. And I'm speaking on any addiction. My main topic is with drug and alcoholism, but I mean, addiction is addiction. If it's gambling, if it's smoking, you know what I mean? It's whatever. It's whatever. These 12 steps that I started off on are very, 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 very powerful, and they can help you get back on the straight and narrow for whatever, because I use them for everything, and I always keep everything on the eye, because for the public and for everything, I have to do that. And even in recovery, that's how they always taught us to keep everything on the eye. That way we could put all our strength and all our understanding in ourselves, and have a little peace within ourselves, so we can become stronger, and start strengthening, and don't look at somebody else's recovery hoping that could be yours. Recovery is personal, as well as sickness is personal. Yes, it does. It treats all of us the same way, because it leads to jails, institutions, and death. And it is definitely designed to kill. It's definitely designed for that. And it doesn't have a problem with race, creed, age, rich, poor, whatever. You know what I mean? And once we get into that world, and I'm going to try not to say, you know what I mean, so much, because I look at myself with these things and I just can't help it. When my son passed, he used to say that to me so much, I hated it, and it's crazy that I say it so much, but just bear with me with that as well. But disease is baffling, and it's cunning, and it's not prejudice. It doesn't care if it's a kid or the oldest person in the world. It don't matter. You know how we have some of our parents and grandparents who drank. They drank until they passed away, some of them. You know what I mean? Like my father, for instance. You know what I mean? My father said, You know, he said, Trotsky, if they take my alcohol, I'ma die. They took his alcohol and he did pass because that's what his body knew and that's where his mind was programmed to by this disease. That's why they say it's cunning, baffling, and powerful, because sometimes it won't let you surrender. It won't let you get better because you feel better, but you feel worse without it. You know, and as age go along, you know, his body, it just, you know, it doesn't register anymore on the fundamentals of life, or, you know, the requirements of vitamins, irons, and nutritions and everything. That is its vitamin, iron, and nutrition. The drugs or the alcohol, you know, and I'm saying as we get old, it happens to us when we become addicts and alcoholics. You know what I mean? But we have enough leverage to try to stop or even be successful at stopping, you know. And I truly believe, and I'm saying me, I truly believe that when they get into age like that, and it's been so long and so much time, you know, that it gets harder to recover. That's just me. You know, I know older people who has come off this thing, you know what I mean, and have gotten much better. You know, but it was at certain ages, you know. Now, I'm only a certain age. I'm 64 years old. So, you know, there's many more older people than myself, you know. But just to give an example how, you know, through living, you know, the life of my alcoholic father, you know what I mean? He would just always say, you know, I'll die before I give this up. You know, and he probably really, you know, disease was like happy. He on my side. You know what I mean? That's how he gonna go. You know, and personally and basically, that's just how it happened. You know, because and he was considered a functional addict. That's the crazy part. You know, he never lost signs of his personal life, his type of life. You know what I mean? His best times was being drunk. You know, he was functional, then he go drunk. You know what I mean? Then he go home and then he go to bed. You know, or he go to sleep. You know, something like that. You know, but to stop was a freaking no-no. A straight up no-no. It says, I'm so glad that I finally had the chance to see you live. I always watched you after the fact and I look forward to hear. Thank you. You know, it's a lot of people that's been watching, a lot of people I run into now almost all over the place that tell me, you know, that they've been watching it live, and it's really some personal, some appreciated, some good, and it's helping some people to understand the function of an addict, you know, and an alcoholic. You know, and that was my main priority to put out here to help, because see, I got help, you know, to bring myself back to life. You know, so when this is all coming off of me, you know what I mean, and the I, this is just the way and how in recovery is how we share. You know, we keep it on ourselves because we don't want to make it sound like, you know, we this or we that, or you this or you that. You know what I mean? You are you and I am I, but with disease is disease. And dis-ease is dis-ease. And when it gets you all of us the same way. It may take certain time in it. You know what I mean? And it may capture a lot of us, you know, again, too. But it's the more that you learn how it works and you come to believe, you know, and you find a structure, something, somebody, or program to help you learn more how to help yourself. You know, and people like myself that is willing to share, you know, the understanding, you know, and everything of this disease, you know, is powerful. You follow? Because we do have to have some guidance, because under the influence and the way that we do things, you know, under the influence is crazy. It is so crazy, you know, and it is actually what you see in us. When you see out there and you shriveling up and you used to be this and used to be looked at as that, you know what I mean? And then you done turned out to be a junkie. See, people like talking, people like saying that, and some people have sympathy and empathy and feel sorry for us, you know, and some just pray for us. You know, we have good people that looks of us and pray for us too. And even people that's in churches and everywhere else sometimes look at us like we dangerous, you know, which we are. They are looking at what they actually see. You know what I mean? Their eyes are not deceiving them, because we become these monsters, you know, uncontrollably. We become these monsters because we are lost inside of a brain that's dark, you know, and the more that we get more attached to the drugs and the alcohol of any addiction, I'm going to say that too, or gambling, or, you know, smoking, you know, or shopping, you know, we shopping. I have addiction. I have terrible addiction of shopping. You know, I'm working on that now. You know, it's whatever the disease is. It is how you love somebody. If it's addiction to men, you know what I mean? Addiction to women, you know what I'm saying? You can get addicted to anything, you know what I mean? But I do know for me that I can go to this literature and these 12 steps that I have, you know, and people who suffering these sicknesses just like me, and I can get some understanding, I can get some comfort, I can get some more information for as long as I'm open for it, you know. And throughout this whole process, you have to learn how to be open, you know, to receive corrective criticism, to receive criticism, you know what I mean, or to just, you got to stop, listen and hear what people feel and what they got to say. You know, we got to build ourselves up to be able to accept things we can't change, and we got to take these things, and that's pain. You know what I mean? And pain is sickness best friend. You know what I mean? Anger is sickness best friend. And disease will have that part of the control of us where we just can't handle that part yet. This is why a program, you know what I mean, and a guidance, you know, and a belief, you know, and to learning how to surrender, you know, all these things have to happen first before you can calmly, I say calmly, sit down and listen. Because words are vicious. Words are so vicious, you know, in the minds of addicts and alcoholics, because most of the time you're using words that sound like you're coming at me, and I have not yet truly surrendered to the fact that I have these problems. You know what I mean? So they call us weird. They call us strange. We're all at these things. You know, we're all these things. And we have to recognize all these things in ourselves. And this is the reason why we keep everything based on the I. It has to be on the I, because the most important person that you have to learn to forgive, you have to learn to respect, you have to learn to care, you have to learn to love is yourself. Okay? Because if you don't have these things in you, you can't give it or offer it to anybody else. It won't turn out right. You know, so loving you and learning who you are and finding out who you are, you know, and understanding this disease that is cunning, baffling, and powerful, you know, is a learning process. We have to learn how to feel all these things all over again, because we have lost these emotions. We have lost these feelings, and we've gained more negatively than we have positively thoughts and feelings in ourselves. You know, I try to explain it clear as I can in the best way that I can, but I am explaining it the way I know how. You follow? So again, you know what I do. I appreciate you, your comments, Patricia, so much. You know, because we was kind of like brought up together, raised up together. You know what I mean? You know, we've seen a lot, we've done a lot, we've been through a lot. You know, but we still here. God bless us for another day, and I've learned how to live one day at a time. You know, and I've also learned how to relive with people, places, and things. Okay, it's sometimes it can still be difficult. I've been clean for 37 years, almost 38 years. You follow what I'm saying? It's been a long time, you know, but I still fear disease. I still know that I'm sick, and I have to always remember that I am sick. I'm just a sick addict living in a recovery lifestyle. You follow? That I have been open to change and surrender, you know what I mean? And found me a structured program that taught me how to believe in a higher power again, taught me how to know that I'm still somebody. You know, I was weighing 82.5 pounds, you know, at my rock bottom. I was looking like a skeleton, you know, running around crazy with my head cut off, you know, and I got the opportunity again, you know, to fix myself because I'm hating God. You follow? And I'm thinking that God don't work. He ain't shit. I said so many things about God. It's pathetic. You know, did I mean him at the time? I damn sure did, because I had not had him in my life the way that I feel him, love him, know he's there in my life today. You know what I'm saying? And he forgave me for that because he know that my life was poisoned by a drug, you know, and society and all these things, and I have lost sense of self. You know, and when we become addicts and alcoholics, we lose sense of self. You know, we don't mean to be the people that we are. We have no control of who we become. So in order to recognize that in yourself, this thing has to beat you up enough, you know, because it takes you to jails, institutions, and death. And I've seen all of that. You follow? You have to get the wake up call, and the sick and tired of being sick and tired is the wake up call. You know, sick and tired of being sick and tired is the surrendering call. You know, and sometimes it takes some much longer than it takes others to get there, and some don't even make it there. This is how cunning, baffling, and powerful this sickness is. It's off the hinges. It is off the chain. You know, this is why I read from what helped me so I can offer what I have that can help somebody. And definitely to reach out to the loved ones, the friends and the families that just don't get it or understand it. You know, and a lot of family and friends give up on you. You know what I mean? Because they say, oh, they ain't never going to change. They're going to die out there. And sometimes they lose that person, and they do die out there. You know, but in your heart, you didn't mean that. In your heart, you didn't want that to happen, or maybe some did. You know what I mean? But 9 out of 10, you didn't want that to happen. And these things would be left in your conscience because you just didn't know or understand the power of the sickness and why, you know, that individual loved one has turned their life. You know, you think we turned it around like that. You know, we don't do that on purpose. You know, we go in this thing having fun. We go in this thing feeling good. The introduction is beautiful. I'm going to let you know. You know what I mean? The feeling results you get from it. My drug of choice was smoking coke. I done snorted coke for years. I done did, you know, many other things, but never did I get to feel the way that made me feel. So that's the choice of what I wanted. Does it felt good? It felt real good. Then the chase began. I never felt it twice. And I don't know nobody who did. I don't care how long you stopped and started. You know what I mean? Or stop, start. You don't get to that end. You don't feel that no more. That whole feeling changes because disease sets in and it changes everything about you. It snatches all your emotions. It makes you believe what it wants you to believe. It convinces you to convince yourself that all this is real. I'm going to get it. I'm going to do it. It's this, it's that. And before you know it, you 82.5 pounds, just the same way I was, smelling, stinking. You know what I mean? Ripping, running, tricking, doing everything that this thing make you do, looking for this beauty, looking for this feeling. And you really believe that it's there. You just haven't got the right bit yet. It's crazy. It is crazy. I could speak very big on cocaine, smoking coke, but today a lot of things has changed. Drugs has changed. You know, society is changing. You know, it'll never be a great society out there because it's wicked. Everything is out there for us. You know, you have to learn how to live back in this world, back in this society, and make choices, rational choices that you don't want to do what they do, or you don't want to die from drugs and alcohol, that you want to live a life the rest of your life in a good life, because everybody is promised one day, you know, and this program and these structured things that I share with you and speak with you teaches us how to live one day at a time. I'm not a robot, but I'm definitely convinced you know, because it becomes simple after a while. When you have made your mind up and you have surrendered and you have found that higher power that you need, you know what I mean? And you come to believe in what you are being taught, you know, and into the truth of this sickness and how sick this thing is, you get better. You get wiser. You start living just like any and everybody else, even with the past of addiction, active addiction that we've lived. And this is why the serenity prayer is my number one prayer. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I say this prayer 24/7, even when I'm smiling, you know, because people, places, and things has always got a dagger somewhere. You know what I mean? You can't avoid it because it's life, it's the world. You know, you can try to keep yourself away from things, but even in family sometimes can chase an addict right back out to get high again if they don't understand how this sickness works. You know, a person can be trying to do great and do, you know, good and to stay good, you know, try to bring relationship back to their children, you know, back into the community or wherever, back into the church. But you always have to know and understand the power of sickness. And words are vicious. You know, this disease, you cannot forget that it's there. You have to always know that it's there. This is why a lot of people relapse. This is why a lot of people go back out. This is why a lot of people come to believe that they're stronger now and they can do this different. You know, I ain't got high in all these years. I ain't did this. I can drink. I did that shit. I couldn't even drink. You follow what I'm saying? That's definitely called relapse. You follow? It was crazy. It was crazy, but it is the truth. And you hear these stories in this place called NA or AA, and you hear other people's stories, you know, and their stories all sound so much like my own, you know, that, and you see certain people and they telling these stories and you look at them and say, I couldn't believe that you were, you know, out there like I was, because you have chose to save yourself. And you have found a higher power greater than yourself to help you to restore your sanity. You found different people, places, and things to come around and learn, feel safe, you know what I mean? Not judged, you know, but everybody in there is striving for one day just like you are. What a better place for an addict. What a better place for an alcoholic. You know what I mean? So that's the same as being in a Gambling Anonymous or whatever. You know, when you choose the right people and places and things to be around, that means you're going to grow. That means you're going to become stronger. That means you're going to become more powerful over your sickness. You know what I mean? And we do kick sickness butt. You know what I mean? We do conquer that and get ourselves back. But that's just the drug of choice. We have to stay aware that we are still addicts, junkies, winos, and all of that. You know what I mean? Because this is how powerful the sickness is, and it's the conscience, it's the inner mind. You follow what I'm saying? Because if you forget that you was a junkie or you was an addict, you are opening up that door to dis-ease, to slide in and pop you one more time, because you have to change your thinking. The thinking has to be changed, because the thinking is what keeps sobriety maintained. Make sense? The thinking, changing your people, changing your places, changing the things that you do will keep you on top of your disease. As I call my disease is Trey. You know, everybody in rehabs, everybody, you know, that knows, they know I call my sickness Trey. And I finally have her in remission. I do not allow her to speak to me, talk to me, don't even join me. You know what I mean? Because she messing with my thinking. You know what I mean? I don't want no parts of her. Only thing I know I need to do for Trey is to keep her ass in remission. You follow me? Because I know she's sneaky. I know she's cunning, baffling, and powerful. And I know she means me harm. I know that she's trying to get out because she's tired of being locked down. Well, I was tired of being locked down. I was sick and tired of being locked down. I was sick and tired of not being able to love, not being able to feel love. And when I felt love, it hurt because I felt sorry and I was angry and I was mad because I was in a predicament and a position that I was in that I couldn't even love. I couldn't feel love for what I I thought love was, but guess what? I know what it feels like today. You follow me? I know it's a beautiful thing. I know it is a prize. It is a gift from God for me, my higher power. You know, and I'd rather keep this love for me as I have now and just allow it to keep growing and growing and growing and growing, because the more I keep growing and the more I love me is the more I can do and love everybody else. And that includes the children, that includes the mother, that includes the father, that includes the sister, that includes the brother, that includes the husband. You know what I mean? If I lose that love for myself, everybody's cut out. Everybody's cut out, because I'm a sick individual. You know what I mean? But I'm a recovering person who's proud of where she is, what she do, how she think, you know, understanding how she has grown and is still growing. You know, because that's what it promised me, and that's absolutely what it gives me. You know, it offered me that, and I received it, and I just had to do my part of the work. You know what I'm saying? Because it just don't come. It just don't come. You got to work for it. You know, and before you can work for it, you have to learn how to listen so that you can hear. And then you'll be able to see. And then you'll start getting that disease start getting a little brittle. You know what I mean? Get real brittle on you, you know? Still there, still throwing jabs, still trying to grow inside you. You know what I'm saying? You know it's there, but you got some ammunition now to learn how to learn about it, and you're willing to do it, and you're willing to surrender. You follow? And you've been taking inventories on self. The 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous is my life. It has put me on the road of living. It had offered me that if I just followed them, come to believe in them, and it told me this would happen. And it is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. Take it from me. I talk the talk, you know what I mean? Because I walk the walk. You follow? Now I'm walking the walk of recovery and talking the talk to the still suffering, or to the families and people who don't understand us and needs to hear these things. You know, just take a minute, take a second. I'm not trying to be a live star. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help people learn and understand the power of sickness. And that you still somebody, you are somebody. You know, some people stop, like I said, on their own. I wasn't one that could do that. You know, I just couldn't do it by myself. I tried 1,000 times, and I stopped for a bit, and I stopped for a while. But every time I started back, because I was convinced that I was okay, because I had no structure. I had no information. I didn't understand it. I just thought that because Tracy always been strong, you know what I mean, that I'm going to do this, I'm going to beat this, and guess what? It beat my ass. It made me believe that I could. And every time I went back out, it got worse. And I felt worse because I lied again. Then I had to keep them lies going again and again. And that's another thing about this thing. You know, we're going to tell a lie. And once we tell one lie, we're going to tell 2 lies. And once we tell 2 lies, we're going to tell 3 lies. And once we tell 3 lies, we're going to tell 4 lies. And we're going to keep on lying and keep on lying and keep on lying till we forget that we even lying. You follow what I'm saying? We don't even realize that we lying. Our lies become a lie. We become a walking lie, you know, and we become a walking defense shield knowing that we lying, but don't know that we lying because we don't realize that we lost self and we lie so damn much. This thing is powerful. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, it allow us to look good, you know, and walk around like ain't nothing wrong with us, and we can't even see. We can't even see no more. For one, we can't even listen to you to hear you, so we can see the truth of what you're saying about us and how we look. This is how blind this thing makes you. This is how uncontrollable this thing makes you, that you can't even look in a mirror. I love a damn mirror. I love a reflection of every damn thing that can show me. Y'all know how we do. We walk down the street and look in the car window. We look in the store window. We can see self. You know, today I love looking at me, even when I ain't got my lashes on, y'all. Even when my hair ain't done. I still love what I see because it sure enough ain't the junkie. It sure enough ain't the addict that's out there in the street, not knowing, not doing, crazy, you know, dying, you know, committing suicide slowly. You know, when we lose control of the drugs and the alcohol, you know, and we don't know how not to use it to make us become addicted, you know, because it takes a minute to become addicted, you know, for drinking, you know, for me, that's how I felt, you know, but for smoking cocaine, it only took a minute. It took a minute because that's how good the sensation of that cocaine felt to me. You know what I mean? It puts this thing in your body that you'll never feel it again, even if you start using again. That's the crazy shit about it, you know? And it just took my mind. It took my brain to a higher level than sickness that I already had and didn't know that I had from snorting, from smoking weed, doing the opiums and all that kind of stuff, you know, just to feel like something else. You know what I mean? Just to take myself out of the elements of my body and put it in a feeling that make me not feel who I am or the same for some reason, because I just wanted to have fun, or I just wanted to, you know, change that feeling and not feel like me. You get high, you drink, and you do these things for a reason. It's a reason for all of us. I've gotten that from certain people, like, you know, I asked myself that question. When I said, just ask yourself the question, why you drink? Why do you have to go into the bars or home or get your liquor bottle and drink? Why do you have to get the weed? You know, whatever the drug of choice is, because it's a feeling. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. You want to feel different. You want to feel different than who you are. For what reason is for what reason, but it is a feeling. And when you like what you do, you're going to do it, you know? And when you continue to do it and continue to do it, some of us start abusing it. And I'm not saying everybody, because the functional addict is, they say they are the functional addict. But at the same time, being a functional addict and drinking is still changing the feelings of who you are. I don't care how many times you do it, you know, but the poison is the poison. That is my point, so big and so clear, and I've learned that, you know what I mean? When you drink and you depend on drinking, you know, or you become the active drinker or the active user or the shooter or whatever, you know, it's either going to be for feeling another way, or you just can't help it. You can't stop. It's a line in the sense of addiction, but it's just not worse than the junkie that you see out here like I was, and junkies that's out on the street, and alcoholics and winos that's out on the street, because it didn't do you like that. Does that make sense? But it's all for a reason. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be drinking it, or you wouldn't be smoking it. You feel me? Or you wouldn't be doing it. You know, and all of us go into the challenge with it like we can handle it and we can take care of this. It becomes an active thing for you, you know? You know, to each his own. I'm not jealous, you know what I'm saying? For me, today, I thank my rotten ass sickness. I thank my disease, you know what I mean? Because you know what? My travel was to go through what I've been through to get where I'm at today, and still find God and have God in my life, you know what I mean? To give me that opportunity, you know, to help people. I promised my higher power, when I felt my higher power, that I will continue to give this back for the rest of my life if you help me today. Those was my words. And I've been doing it ever since. I've been able to hold a word. I've been able to be trusted again. I've been able to be a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. I'm seeing things that I haven't even, that I always dreamed to have becoming. And that's those things. You know, the mother, the grandmother, you know, the great-grandmother, the aunt, the friend, you know what I mean? Loving, you know, loving people, you know, people who love me. Y'all know I know a whole lot of people, and I get a lot of love from a whole lot of people, and I get a lot of bullshit from a whole lot of people too, but my choice is to be around the love. You know what I mean? And I can accept the things I can't change with the ones who don't. You know what I mean? And I can pick people, places, and things that I want to be around and don't want to be around. You follow? And I learned all this by this 12 steps, those drugs taking me where it took me to get an understanding of me. And that's for me. That's part of my story. You follow? That's part of my story. You know? And all of us have a story. All of us have a story. Whether or not it's a good story or it's a bad story. Everybody has a story. You know, and I have no shame to my game. I have no shame to my story. I had shame when I was under the influence. You know what I mean? But today I don't. Today for me, I can thank it and tell it to go to hell. You follow? Because it put me on the road where God wanted me to be. And the blessing about it is because I chose it, you know, and I got to understand it. You know, and I got to understand so much more about myself. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. I just love me today. I really do. I love me today. You know, I'm loving that I'm able to help people and put these things out there. You know what I mean? I see a lot of us who come a long way, you know, and however you came that way, you're there, you know, but, you know, for you. You're there for you, where you feel as though you need to be. You know, you're either rising or we're falling. You know, there's some people, you know, that don't even touch drinking or drugging. God bless them. You know, but I was a society girl. You know, I had to be out there being that girl, you know, like most of us was. You know, we was all out there being this and doing that. You know what I mean? And a lot of us got caught up because we went blind and we could not see. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I was one of those people. You know, but I'm also doing great today. You know, I've also, again, have no shame to my game. You know, I accept these things. You know, I surrender to myself, you know, and who I am and what I did. And you know what I'm saying? And being crazy, shame, mad, angry about everything. But my program, you know what I mean? My structured program taught me how to forgive me, you know, and that's what it took. It took me to forgive myself before I can get better. And forgiving myself is part of surrendering. You know what I mean? I surrendered. You know, I surrendered and I made a choice. I made a rational choice, a great choice one day. You follow? Suffering, and didn't go into the rehab with the intentions of getting better. I was going into the rehab because the thing about the rehabs, they always turn into the place that you can go in, get fed, get bed, get room and board. You know what I mean? Get welfare, get food stamps. You know what I mean? They put you back on the straight and narrow and all of that. And most people went in just for that because we got cut off of all that shit. You know what I mean? And we needed that break. We know how to play the system. We become master makers of playing the system. I tell you, any addict, you know, any active addict out there or anybody that's in function with that shit, girl, we know how to get in between government and everybody else. You follow? They got so much out there that's given. Why should I change? Why should I surrender? You know what I mean? I'm cool. You know, I've heard clients say I'm going to die anyway. I'm going to die high. You know what I mean? This is the insanity of this thing. You follow? This is the weakness of this thing. Man, shoot, me and my mom, you know, we get it. We get high, you know. I mean, we bring some of our kids into this thing. We've seen our parents drinking and partying. That shit looked fun. You know what I mean? Well, why not follow the yellow brick road? You know what I mean? We didn't know where our roads was going to travel. You follow? You know, I always claimed I would never be like my father. You know, and I was just like my father. I was just with a different drug of choice. Ain't that crazy? And that's in the makings of becoming an addict and an alcoholic. You know, my father was abusive. And I said, I'll never treat my kids like that. I may not have beat my kids physically, but my mouth sure enough did. You follow? So surrendering to things, you have to really surrender to the real deal of it. You know what I mean? Having things around my children. You know what I mean? Drug dealers. You know, we a lot of us played the life. We done been there. We done had all these things, and all this was poison. It was nothing but poison, you know, to me, to my children, and I don't want it to happen to my children's children. But out here in society, I have no control of. But I do have control of sharing these things that I have today, the wisdom and the understanding and the knowledge of what I know today to my grandchildren. You know what I mean? So that they won't make that choice. You know what I mean? Try to give them the best of what we can give them. And thank God that it's working. You know what I'm saying? Thank God it was working because, see, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I had to raise me out there. You know, I had to raise me. So society became my family. Going to the Wars Grill and sneaking in Chocolate City and all these kind of places made me somebody. You follow what I'm saying? I was just a young buck with the old heads that was showing me how to do it. You follow? Because we all get it from somewhere. We all get it from somewhere. You know, so I try to be very cautious and careful in what I do and what I say around my children and my grandbabies. I ain't gonna tell y'all my mouth got cleaned up too well because that thing still be rolling. Trust that. You know what I mean? But I am aware of certain things that I just won't say, you know, around them, you know, or call them names. You know what I mean? A lot of us been raised up being called bitches by your moms and your dad. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, those things are mentally a whooping. It is mentally beating you up. It's mentally messing with the emotions. It's mentally, you know, disturbing to some kids, you know, or to some of us. You know, my mother I never heard her say a cuss word out of her mouth. But I sure enough heard my father. I heard my father call us all kinds of names and my mom all kinds of names and turn us against my mom, you know, because this man was sick. And as a child, I didn't even know it. I didn't even understand it. You know what I mean? So that was pretty much like, you know, you're in a little depression there. You're going through something. You know, I could talk about everything that I remember today. You know what I mean? I was a child that was in depression. And I kept it all in because I couldn't say nothing to nobody. You know, back then what goes on in the house, stay in the house. Better not say shit. You get a beating. You know? So it's a different, it's so much to this that can turn us towards, you know, confusion and not even know that we are confused. You know, and it's all popping out today in our future children, you know, in our children, all kinds of, you know, depression, psych, anxiety, all kinds of these things is just here. It's here and it's open. You know what I mean? It's here and you can see it. You know what I mean? And some of us so blind because we're so selfish, you know, especially the ones of us that use and can't recognize it. You know what I mean? And don't even know that part of us is a part of making that happen. You know, and these are hard things to forgive yourself for. These are hard things, you know, to surrender to, you know, and say that you are a part of that. You know what I mean? Or you was a part of that. You know, even in society, you know, our dealers taught our younger dealers. And if they didn't teach them, they admired them so much that they wanted to be just like them. So they mocked them. You know what I mean? As well as us. As parents, you know, and some of our parents, you know, drinking and drugging look fun. It didn't look like it would hurt you because they were having too much fun. You know, neighbors, parents, you know, it is just people in places doing things. I've learned so much on how to connect the dots and connect my puzzle pieces back together that I can see clearly now the rain is gone. You know what I mean? But I'm also still learning. I'm also still trying to digest things. I'm also still working on self-pain. I'm also still working on situations that angered me and pissed me off. You know what I mean? As a young child. You know what I mean? Everything just don't go away. You have to work on these things one day at a time. And there are steps, 12 of them, that will allow you to learn how to do just that. You follow? Developing this sickness, this rare connective disease disorder I have with this lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and solidonia, all this stuff. I didn't expect these things in my life, but I have to deal with them, you know. And I'm so proud and so grateful more than anything that I am aware and I'm here to know that I have these things and I have been taught how to become strong again and surrender and accept things I can't change because this is something that I can't change. You know what I mean? And change the things I can. And I've been taught how to be strong, how to have faith in my higher power, you know, and turn it over. You know what I mean? That helps me, you know, to be able to change the things that I can't. you know, and now wise enough, smart enough, brains open enough to have the wisdom to know the difference. I tell you, these tools for me are powerful. You know, when you learn these things and you get these things to hang on to and lean on and hang over to, I tell you, and you believe in them and you come to believe in them, I'm telling you, it works. It works. You just have to keep the belief. You know what I mean? Because you won't get a prayer that comes to you just like this. You know what I mean? Everything takes time. You know, before I didn't want no daggone relationship with God. I didn't understand that. You know, I told y'all in a story before that, you know, I was taught that through my sister and Levert Todd. You follow what I'm saying? Pastor Levert Todd. You follow? Then I had to come to believe in him. I had to believe what they said first. You know what I mean? And then I did what they told me to do and instruct me to do. And as I kept working on it and working on it and working on it, now I know this thing is real. Now I know this thing is going to happen. And sometimes it happens when you don't even expect or be ready for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you have to come to believe in these things. I hope I'm saying something for somebody today. You know, I'm starting to feel this thing real good now. You know, this thing gets me high. You know, this is a high that I can go on and go on and go on with and stay lit, you know, and it feels good all the time. Not one time, but all the time. It don't make me crazy. It makes me wiser. It don't make me nutty. It makes me feel better. You know what I mean? It don't make me stupid. It makes me smart. You know, this thing is vicious. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. You hear me? It is so beautiful. So I hope that you can listen to what I'm saying so that you can hear what I'm saying. You know, I'm trying to read some of this. What about Sister Samaya? You know what? He said, what about Sister Samaya? Y'all know anybody that knows Sister Samaya knows back in the day. They know me for quite some time, but this is my son that's saying these things. You know what I mean? Samaya, Tracy, Tasha Spix, Mary Boppins. I had so many names, y'all. I can't even keep up with them all. I had a name for the electric company, a name for the water company, a name for the rent people, the name for welfare. I had names for everything and everybody, you know, because that's where the brain was back then. I was never surrendering to be Tracy, that's for sure. You follow? Tracy was the real name that they get you on. You follow? I beat Tracy's name up real bad. You know, but y'all know how it be back in the day. We knew how to do it. I remember I used to take the electric company when they found out I wasn't Tasha Spix, and I found out how they disconnect the electric. You know how we think. You know, I was one of them too. You follow? I see y'all laughing. I didn't even know you could do that on this thing. But that's how real it is, you know? I went without paying an electric bill for years. I ain't mad at it, not to this day, but was it right? No. Can I surrender to it? Yes. You know, today, I wouldn't do that. And I'm being totally honest with y'all because today I'm responsible. You know what I mean? Today I know what first thing first is. You know, today I pay for everything that I got. I don't steal. You know what I mean? Today I do things the way that it should be done. And thank you for the applause, Patricia. Thanks for the applause, because I know a lot of people could feel this thing. You know what I mean? Or how we done things, man. Shoot, I go in the store. My kids got Easter because I'm going to come out the store with it. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to have me some sharp clothes because I'm going to come out the store with that too. You follow our shit. I used to steal real good, you know, and probably still can. You know what I mean? It's just that I don't think that way today. And my mind has changed from what I used to be and how I used to think and how I was to what I become today. And in order for me to become who I am today, I had to get honest, and not just with me, about everything in life. Because see, those was defects of characters that I had to make change of. Ha! How about that? You know what I mean? And that's what I did. That's what I did. I see things different. I see a lot of things than what my mama used to tell me. You know what I mean? Back then I couldn't see them. It was like, oh, all right. And I still made choices to do what I do because I had a great mother, a good mother. You know what I mean? The things that I did and what I turned out to be and come at that particular time was the choices of what I chose. You know what I mean? Which I know today they were irrational choices, but my life was in society. You know what I mean? My life was out there, you know, just like a whole lot of people's lives was in a wrong turn. And we thought we were strong enough to be that and want to be this and want to be that. You know, all that was a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, back then it made me everything. Oh, Tracy Allen, she could fight. Tracy Allen, she this. Tracy Allen, she that. Well, shit, that made me feel good. You know, people looked at me like that, and people accept me in certain things. When I go in the bar, I'm being bummer. Hey, not today. Not today. I don't need it, because all that turned me in what I had became, you know, and what I have become, you know. And I look back at it all. You know, I said, God just put me through it to experience it until it came to a point where I had to make a choice, live or die, you know, and I chose to live. I chose to live, and I had to learn how to live. I had to crawl before I am now walking. And before, when I had to learn how to crawl, I learned how to stand real fast. But now I am walking. There's different levels of this thing. Now I'm walking, you know, and I'm on that yellow brick road, you know, and I'm so proud of where I'm at. I'm so proud of everybody who's recovering, and I don't even have to know you. I'm proud of where you are. You know what I mean? Because we all got to start that first step first. You follow what I'm saying? And we all got to battle this thing. You follow? And I'm so proud of everybody who's made change and made that righteous change, to want to stop using drugs and alcohol. And I don't care how you did it. I am proud of you. I am happy for you. And I pray for you. You know, I pray for all suffering addicts and alcoholics today. I pray for sick people. I pray for the animals. You know what I mean? I pray for everybody today. Everybody today. And prayer was something I didn't even know how to do. Prayer was something I could have cared less of. Because the way my life came up and the way I was doing things, I took everything for whatever it was, and for granted. Because I had no prayer in me, and I had no higher power in me, and I felt like, who needs God? You follow? I don't care if your higher power is that picture behind me. I don't care what it is. In this disease and this battle that we fight, we need something greater than ourselves. That's still by choice. It's your choice. Because whatever works for you is going to work for you. Whatever works for me is going to work for me. But I don't care what it is. If your higher power is not like my higher power, share. Come on this thing and share so people can understand that it works if you work it. It works if you work it. Hey, nephew. What's up? Yeah, my nephew said some good things to me today about this live, you know, and he's young, you know what I mean? But his mother and I, you know, we both were two people who lived the life of smoking cocaine, you know, and just by me saying that, it's crazy how you popped up, babe, because your mom was one who did not recover the way that I did. Your mom was one who stopped on her way to her recovery. Your mom, I told my sister that you got to go to rehab, because when I got clean, I got excited, boy. You know, I was trying to tell all my friends, all of them are going. Everybody that we was out there with is gone. You know, everybody is dead. It's just a couple of us left. And when I say a couple, I mean a couple. You follow? Because that's when sicknesses came out, AIDS and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? And my sister told me, girl, get out my face. I'm not going no rehab. I'm done. Guess what? She was done. My sister stayed just as clean as I did until her life, she got sick. You know, and I love her for that. You know what I mean? I am so proud of her for that. She became a better mother. She became a better sister, just like the things that I'm appreciating and where I'm at today. You know, so what works for one may not work for the next. And however you get clean, stay clean. You follow? Stay clean, but share it. You share it. Just because I had to do program, don't mean you had to. You know what I mean? But always be honest enough to know that if you don't have that structure, direction, and you need it and you can't find it, that it's always here for you. It's always here for you. And I speak straight shit. I talk real shit. I don't try to clean nothing up. You know what I mean? I have to be totally honest with what I say. And like I'm saying, this is on the eye. This is on the eye. I change nothing that I read out these books, but I do change my experience, my strengths, and my hopes, you know, in better ways that I can help the next person understand what I'm saying and what these things are saying. Because disease will keep your mind confused. Disease will keep your head blocked. Don't forget it's there. It's always there. And it always try to slip in one way or the other because it don't want you to understand disease. It wants you to be under the influence of disease. You follow the DIS/EASC, and that's a no-no. You follow? So we can't allow that dis-ease to slip in any way, shape, or form. That was pretty good. I like that. You know, sometimes I hear me and I just be like, oh man, you go girl. You go girl. And I give all the praises due to my higher power. You know, I know I'm going over it, and I only did this because I went under on time because the freaking phone wouldn't work. But see how higher power works? It allowed me to continue this without blinking off again. I had to fix this thing five times, you know, and I thank all of you that came back on this live. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming back on this live, you know, and I would appreciate it if you guys would come on this live. You know, I can always put you on here where you being where you at and I'm being where I'm at. Or some of you can be invited to the couch. You know, I'm going to keep saying and continue to saying it. You know, it kind of reminds me of my client. My clients always want me to just share. Talk. Come on, give me something. Give me something. Give me where you are. You know what I mean? Give me something to talk about, you know, to add in other than myself. You know what I mean? Give me more, you know, that, you know, you want to add, you need to know. You know what I mean? So if I got, you know, a suggestion for you, I can throw it out there. You know, I was told, well, you say it all. No, I say all for what's for me. You understand what I'm saying? I give you what I have, you know, but you got to bring what you want or what you need. You know what I mean? Or where you are and what you feeling. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't no shame to this game. Ain't no thing called embarrassment. Ain't no thing called I ain't putting my business out there. You know what I mean? I put anything out there today. You follow? I put it in there because I have no shame to my game because I know that I'm sick. You know, but I know that I'm sick and I'm in recovery. You know what I mean? And I'm living a recovery lifestyle. You know? So it's a process. It's definitely a process. You know? And anybody is welcome and open to this live, you know, at any given time, every Wednesday. I think I picked a good day too and a good night, you know, in the middle of the week at a good time of the day, you know, and the night, because it's just always more and more people coming through and coming on this live, you know, and you guys are doing a fantastic job of spreading this out and posting this thing, you know, and telling people about it. You know what I mean? It's just so appreciated, you know, by me. It is very much appreciated. And you guys help me with my recovery, you know, just by showing me love like this. You know, like I said, this is just not for me, you know. I mean, it's for me too. You know, I got to do my homework and stay on my grounds and stay on top of this disease too. I got to keep this thing rolling. You know what I mean? I got to keep this thing in remission. You know, and I thank all of you for helping me do that, because see, when I share, oh my gosh, it's like, it's medication. You know what I mean? It's the medication that I need, you know, and all this information that I learned is my medication. You know, it's what the doctor prescribed, my higher power. You follow? Gave us something, gave us a structure, and it was created by an addict and an alcoholic. You follow what I'm saying? And guess what? There's a whole lot of us out here that has followed this information, and we are now on top of our game. We are now no longer using poison and drugs and all that thing. And we're able to talk about it and share about it and live with it. You know what I mean? And now living without it, living with it inside us. You know, tell me that ain't powerful. Tell me that's not great. Tell yourself that. You thank you be grateful and you be blessed and you give yourself the credit. If nobody else is giving it to you, you give it to yourself every day, because God is watching. My higher power is watching. Your higher power is watching. Keep on giving yourself the credit and the glory and the blessing and everything that comes with this of this beautiful thing that you have done, you are doing, and you're conquering. You know what I mean? You have become a person. You know what love is. You know what hate is. You know what crying is. You know what playing is. You just learn all these things that you thought you knew, but the emotion of it is now what you're feeling. You know what I mean? And you can feel it, like openly feel it. You can make these greater, decisions and all of this. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of every single person who tries. I'm proud of the people who relapse. I'm proud of the people who pick themselves back up, because it takes for you to have the thought and the want to even battle this thing. And if you did it once and you relapse, you can do it again. Trust me, you can. Don't feel bad. Pick yourself back up and pick back up where you left off, because if you're used, that's definitely what the sickness gonna do to you until it does what it do, and that's send you to jails, institutions, and death. And I have went over this thing 10 minutes, and I'm gonna let you all go, and I'm gonna get myself relaxed. You know what I mean? And calm down a little bit. Thank you for making my night. You know what I mean? And I hope I made some of yours, or not, if all of yours. You follow? Come back on, y'all. Share with me. Messenger me. Text me. Talk to me. You follow? I'm willing to talk back. I'm willing to offer you anything that I possibly can. But one thing I have to tell you is I can't fix you. The only person that can fix you is you. You follow? All I can do is what I'm doing, offering information, education on recovery and how to do this thing the way I've done it. And a whole lot of it's done. So thank you. Send me hearts. I love hearts. I keep a heart shirt on. I try to all the time. I guess that's my little theme, and what I do on these lives. But y'all, thank you so much. I'm not going to keep everybody. You know what I mean? I got a big wedding to do this weekend. Work to do. But nothing is going to stop me from coming on this live. Okay? Love y'all. Don't forget to tell people. Don't forget to share this. And think about sharing with this, So I'm going to go off right now. And thank you so very much. My kiss to everybody.